Happy Sunday. Just listen to a little inspirational song there. I'll play a little bit more for you at the end. Y'all, happy, blessed Sunday. We are blessed. We are in May of 2020. Wow. May of 2020, y'all. It's a blessing to even be able to say that. I hope y'all are having a wonderful, blessed Sunday. Let's get into the sermon notes for today. The title of the sermon, The God Who Sees and Saves. This is still about Hagar. We're still in the book of Genesis chapter 21, verses 14 through 21. We're still with Hagar, who was the Egyptian maid that was the maid for Sarah and Abram. And Sarah and Abram were promised to have a child, but they took matters into their own hands and got Hagar pregnant, the Egyptian maid, and she has had this son. Genesis 21, verses 14 through 21, if you want to read along or read this later for yourself. Hagar, the Egyptian maid. Have you ever been aimless, wandering, no direction, no purpose, no goals, no drive? Have you run out of patience, joy, provision? Your reality isn't looking anything like what God promised, so you feel. Hagar has been sent out with her son into the wilderness now. Let's remember she returned to Abram and Sarah, served Sarah, and had her son. But now Sarah has had a son, and Abram tells Hagar she and her son must live. So the promised child that God had told Abram and Sarah before they took things into their own hand has been born, and so now there's strife between the two boys. So Abram gets up early, according to the scripture, and tells Hagar and her son that they must leave, and he gives them a skin filled with water for provision. Are you doing all that you can to save all you have left of your life? Do you feel tossed out? Or are your provisions running low? Hagar is out in the wilderness and provisions have run out. She's worn, tired, struggling with keeping her peace. Do you feel like this during COVID? Do you feel like you are just over it? Hagar didn't want to see her child die because the provisions had run out. No water, no nothing. Hagar did not want to see her child die, so she put him under a bush, sat opposite of him because she didn't want to see him die, and she wept. And God heard the cry of the lad. He was all alone. God hears the cries of single mothers. God hears the cries of our children, those who have been broken by life and they're forsaken. The cries from earth have received a response from heaven. God hears the cries of his people. Do you feel alone? God hears your cries. An angel came to Hagar and asked her why she was crying and said, "Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is." Now notice she was crying too, but the angel came and said, God has heard the voice of the child. The angel told Hagar to arise and lift the child up, so she reconnects with the child. During COVID, some things have happened. Reconnect with God. God's promises will come to pass for you. Don't live like you're dead during COVID. After Hagar reconnected to the child, God opened her eyes and she saw a well of water, and she gave the lad a drink. God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness and became an archer. Hagar sees the God who sees. Hagar sees the God who saves. God will save you from the unspiritual plan of people. God will thwart any plan that the enemy has for you. God will use any schemes that the enemy has planned for you, and God will work it for your good. God will protect you from aimless living. God will give you a purpose. God will turn your dying place into your development place. God will save you from sure death. You can be living and still dead, breath, but not life, an empty existence. God will save you from a spiritual death. We were in the wilderness of sin, but God gave us water from the well of living water, and we will never thirst, especially during COVID. God is the well of living water. If you feel like you're dying on the inside today, God sees, God saves, and He will give you living water. God, I'm dead without you. Thank you for saving me. That is it for today. That's your inspiration for today, y'all. If you feel like you're dying, you're going through so many things during COVID and we still can't see our way through or out, just remember, God is the well of living water. He sees us and He will save us. We're dead without God. So we thank God for saving us. All right. Don't live like you're dead during COVID. God is the well of living water. And I want to close out with a little bit more of this beautiful song that I hope you can hear the words of because it's so inspirational. His grace is sufficient. You'll make it today. Goodness and mercy will prevail. If God is for you, no one can be against you. All right, that's it, y'all. God is for us. Nobody can be against us. And we are going to live during COVID because we got God. All right, I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day and week. And it's just getting started. So live. Don't live like you're dead. Be blessed.